first of all, the reason we videotape interviews is because then, let's say you were a lead person or something and you said you're on 24-hour call and we're supposed to call you in, you know, if you're a team member. And then let's say somebody doesn't recall what the conversation was or what the agreement was, then now, from now on, we have to videotape all interviews, so then if you agree to take the job, we know what it is. So, like maybe working weekends or holidays, things like that, where we have it set up. But anyway, today, you know, I was thinking about it, and you know, you keep calling about a job, and your mom keeps asking, and your dad asked if you can get a job back, so we thought we'd have an interview today to see if, you know, I was thinking about it, and I had this idea. You might be a good guy for a management position. Do you know who Jack Kennedy is?
No, I don't.
Oh, well, he used to be president. He was assassinated in Texas.
Okay.
See, his dad was Joe Kennedy, and you probably learned this in school. See, you know where Edgar, the FBI guy is, like Hoover?
Mm-hmm.
Never heard of him?
No.
Well, he started the FBI. See, so, but this is kind of important because this is how we got to you. See, Jack's dad, Joe, he was Irish, see, and they lived in Boston, see. They'd hire the blacks, the Negroes, and the Chinese before they'd hire the Irish, because the Irish were the scumbags of the world. So, what Jack did Jack's dad, Joe, what he did was he went into bootlegging business. And he started it, you know, because of Prohibition. So he made millions of dollars in the bootlegging business. And then he donated a lot of money to Roosevelt to become president. So when Roosevelt became president, he made Jack head of the SEC because he wanted to make sure everybody was paying their taxes on stock and everything. See, so, and the reason he got that job was because he had outplayed the government for so many years on this prohibition. Roosevelt said to the New York Times, it says, it takes a crook to catch a crook. So they hired Joe Kennedy to catch everybody else so they pay their taxes so the government would get their taxes. So, well, that's what, and then Hoover started the FBI. So, well, it didn't work out exactly the way Roosevelt thought, but what brought that story to mind was like we could put you, now here's what your job would be. It wouldn't be a set shift. We'd have you come in, maybe 2 hours on first shift, 3 hours on second. It'd be all over the board. But it's good pay, it's $15 an hour. But now you wouldn't, now if you caught your dad smoking in the factory, and you knew that was getting, yeah, you'd have to turn, you could do that, yeah. That's what I thought.
Yeah, especially for, $15
so,
an hour, I'd tell you anything that went on down there.
Oh, good. So, well, that's what we thought. So, here's what your job would be. You'd come in 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and if you'd see Tim Buchel outside smoking a cigarette or talking on the cell phone, you'd be kind of you'd be the company man, you'd inform us. You know, you'd be kind of like the enforcer. Not, you know, just you tell them this is my job, and you know, if I catch you, I got to turn you in. That's my job. I'm not the police. I'm just doing my job.
Right.
So anything, then you'd check the parts out, make sure the production was right. You'd work with Carl and check the parts and make sure whoever was checking the parts on first and second and third, they were doing their job. If anybody's out smoking or in the warehouse or stealing, that's an important part of this too. So, you know, if I catch somebody stealing, then, you know, you'd be looking for like maybe stuff laying by the door or anything, even if it's only a bucket or a sawhorse or whatever. Right. Your job would be to keep an eye on, you'd be our watchdog. So, yeah, okay. So that'd be the job, and then But you don't have a problem if you had to, you don't have no problem, no conflict that you wouldn't be worried about if you had to, let's say you caught Jerry Johnson or something smoking in the back plant. You wouldn't say to him on the next, you'd let us know, right?
Yeah, I'd let you know.
Okay.
If that's my job, I mean, that's, I'm gonna do my job. Like I said, I have a baby and age and everything now. I need to get priorities straight. I need to have a job and be able to support my fiance and her baby. So I'm gonna do anything I can to keep my job.
Well, that's what we want. We want people to do their job. So, anyway, getting back to the Kennedy story then, see, Hoover got to be FBI. He started the FBI. So, but, see, Kennedy got so much money because he took over Gordon's Dry Gin and all these liquor things when they lifted Prohibition, see. And he had all the liquor in Boston, so then he made all kinds of millions of dollars. So what happened is Hoover didn't like that because what he did was he had all the inside information. See, he was working in New York with the FBI and everything and the government, so he put all his competition out of business. So he was the king there, I guess. He had all the money in it. So then he got his son elected president, and his other son became Attorney General, Bobby. And this is the important part of the story here. See, Hoover, Edgar Hoover, he started the FBI, I told you. See, he was queer.
Right.
And he's a big guy, strong guy, but he's queer. See, and Bobby found out he was queer. See, because Hoover was running all these stories and surveillance on Kennedy because he was supposedly having affairs with Marilyn Monroe and everything. But see, Hoover was queer. And when the Kennedys found out he was queer, see, they did surveillance on him. And then they found out, he was, big guy. They thought he was queer, what he was.
Right.
So then, what happened was then they started circulating stories about, hey, you better leave us alone, or we're going to tell everybody in the country, the FBI, the #1 law enforcement agent in the world, or in the United States, is queer. So, Hoover didn't like that, So, and now Hoover felt bad because, he'd put Kennedy, they'd let Kennedy into power, running the SEC, and that backfired, and now the guy that he hired screwed him.
Right.
Well, I don't know if he screwed him, but anyway, yeah. So, you get the picture?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that's the story, that's what we're, but we don't want you to end up to be Kennedy, where you take the job and then you screw us over.
Right.
We want you to take the job like they originally said, You know what to look for, right?
Yeah.
The steal and smoking on the job, shit like that, horseplay, all that. So you're the guy, I think, right, John?
Yeah.
You think he could be our Kennedy?
I guess we'll see.
Like I said, even if it's my dad.